Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, pimps and simps, welcome back to the Mac Life, the #1 podcast here in the world. We're back for episode 126. Now, if you're new to the channel, we cover absolutely everything to do with growing your brand online, monetizing that brand, OnlyFans marketing for creators, and OnlyFans management. So how to manage ladies and make money with them. Now, this is not the PC-friendly place. There is zero political correctness on this channel. We go hard out, and if you don't understand how I film these videos, we do them in a podcast-style format. Essentially, I just ramble at the start of the video on updates going on in my life. Me and you get to build a connection, and then we get into some juicy sauce at the end of the video. Feature guest here today, as you can see, our lovely Ariani in the background. Now, today we'll be looking at... Now, actually, I want to put a disclaimer. Perfect. I want to just put a disclaimer before we get into the updates. None of today's video is in any way, shape, or form legal nor financial advice, okay? Especially not legal advice, because this covers a contract template, and what I would say is if I was going to operate in the OnlyFans industry, I would have some sort of contract in place that would look a little something like this, okay? And then I would have a lawyer, obviously, go ahead and fine line everything. I wouldn't just go ahead and launch with just this. But if I was to have a contract in place, it would look a little something like this. So, with that being said, this video is made completely out of for satire. It's just for jokes, for fun, and yeah, for entertainment. So anyway, we're going to get into that, but we've got a few updates to go over first. Why does that just not feel as straight as it could be? Like, I don't know, I just feel like it's just a little off today. That's going to drive me fucking insane. There we go. Better? Okay. Now, we have quite a few updates to get in before we look at breaking down the contract. So essentially I'd look at what parts or what things I would have inside of the contract. Now before we get into that, we've got quite a few little updates here. I cannot say that. I don't know why I wrote that down. That could not go on the podcast. I cannot say that. Anyway, so topic number 1 can actually not be talked about on the podcast. But topic number 2, okay, is I'm looking for next month to head over to Japan. So the travel trip is to head to Japan, and then from Japan to South Korea. Now, I'm not too sure, so if anyone knows any info, leave comments down below. I was appreciative of the comments that were dropped yesterday when I asked for them. I think at the moment to get into Japan, you might need a tour guide, apparently something to do. Motherfucker's talking on speakerphone while I'm trying to film the potty. We're gonna rev them up. So, we've got Japan, you need a tour guide, apparently, to get into Japan. Now, I'm not sure if that's true or not. I don't know if that's dropped. Apparently you need a test. I will not be doing another fucking test. I was hoping that by next month it'll be resolved, and the same thing it looks like for South Korea. But I was hoping to go from here to Japan to South Korea, maybe Taiwan. I don't know what the situation is, but something like that, okay? We have unlimited funds, which makes it easy on that half. But then with all the restrictions in place in the world at the moment and me hating long travel times, you know, we'll see what we decide on. So anyway, that's that in place. Now, a lot of people, I put in the comment section yesterday, how would you like the podcast to be filmed? Do you want it left exactly the way it is now, where it's in long style format? Or would you prefer if I sent it off to a video editor, had it video edited and looked at, and then sent back, and then we have the wish-washy? But surprisingly enough, we got the exact same comment that I've had from people on Instagram, which is, the only comments are that people wanted it to be left the way it is, which I feel it's kind of refreshing to have a podcast like this on YouTube. You know, everyone else's podcasts, they're highly edited, they jump, they have B-roll, they have this, they have that. This is just honest, this is transparent, this is how it is, it's filmed day to day. I'm probably wrong with half of the shit that I say, but I can still drop expert advice because I make serious amounts of money online, so it's just as transparent as it comes. And I feel that these... You know, this is the way I intended to film them, and I'm glad that the audience has voted in for that as well. So, anyway, this morning we had a coffee incident. I head down to get my coffee at this little town that I'm staying in. I headed down, and it's funny, like the small town mentality. I've headed there like every single morning. I've bought a coffee and I bought breakfast there. I head there, bing, my car gets declined. The lady looks at me like I'm a fucking criminal, and I'm like, I come here every morning and paid for coffee. I mean, like, I was wearing designer shit, like a designer jacket. I'm standing there and I'm like, I don't know what's up. Anyway, I open my wallet to pay with cash. I never really have cash on me unless I'm overseas, so I just have a wallet full of foreign currency. And jokingly, I'm like, oh, you don't accept, like, foreign currency? And she's like, no. And I was like, Oh, well, I'm going to have to go get my other card. Anyway, you would think they would be like, you know what, champ? We've seen you coming here every morning. Just take your coffee, take your brekkie, and you can hit us up tomorrow. No, I had to drive back. I come back with this card. Lucky I went and got cash as well. Okay, didn't work. And I was like, fuck me. So I thought it was Commonwealth Bank. I was like, fuck. I've had non-stop issues with Combank, and I was like, it's going to be another Combank issue. Anyway, I went through the chat bot. I went through the support. It's not even Combank. It was just that their dodgy thing is on a 3G network and wouldn't accept my fucking card. It wouldn't accept my card. So anyway, I'm there and I'm like, fuck me. That was a little start to the morning. I'm standing there. And like, this has happened to other people in front of me multiple times in my life. Their card hasn't worked or something. And me as a good, outstanding citizen, like this lady in the background with the kicks, okay, I would just go ahead and be like, you know what? Must be the universe saying brekkie is on me today, and I would fix up their brekkie. Do you think any of these old fucks did that? There was a line of people waiting like, not a single motherfucker wanted to step up and shout me some brekkie. But like I said, you know, that's the poverty mindset of a lot of people. That's the difference, I guess, of having money and not having money. When you're a stingy motherfucker, a lot of people, you know, they don't have the ability to help others. And that's why I say, like, people say, oh, money's the root of all evil. It is not. Trust me, the amount of good I've been able to do with money, it will change your fucking life. And, like, not even just shouting people brekkie, but overseas, where you can make serious, like, you can provide serious value for people, hiring people from foreign, you know, countries where they don't make much money. I've genuinely changed people's lives overseas. So that's what it is. Anyway, now, I'll also be dropping another video that I'll be filming after this today. There was, I don't want to get into it on here, but I seen there was like a Onlyfans Style, one of the top creators on Onlyfans, and she's been featured on a heap of podcasts. She got done for murder, or I'm not going to put up bad things because I know you can't do this legally. You can't just say, oh, she's a murderer. Allegedly murdered her boyfriend, stabbed him in the heart. So I'm going to be looking into that and then delving into it and breaking it down a bit more. And I've decided the way in which I'm going to do these extra videos that I do each day is essentially I'm going to do a podcast every day. And then rather than me saying, okay, I'm going to do an OnlyFans video every day, it's just going to be an anything video every day. So I get the podcast out and then it doesn't matter. It might be an OnlyFans tip guide. It might be something to do with Facebook Marketplace. It might be to do on some breaking news. It might be to do on whatever the fuck I feel it's about. Success stories. It might be sales training. Just an additional video each day to help out. And then over time, we'll look at the analytics because, like I said, I'm a long-term player. I don't need to put out 3 or 4 videos and they need to be hit viral pieces. I'm content to put out these YouTube videos for the next 10 years. And no one else is. It's strange how many of you I have told, if you want to get wealthy, start pumping out YouTube videos and build your fucking brand. But yet no one wants to do it. And that leads into the next point. You don't understand how many people message me, bro, I can speed up the growth of your channel, bro, I can do this, I can do that. And you have like no credibility. Like my team messages me, bro, we're getting all these spam emails. People say, oh, your copywriting could be better, your fucking this could be better, your YouTube could be better. Motherfuckers, where is the credibility? If you had it, I would know who you are. I am connected enough, especially within Australia, that I know all the big players in this game. I have my hand in everyone's pocket. So you're trying to reach out to the big Don Dip, but you've just got the little flips, okay? You've got to start lower down the chain and work your way up if you want to fucking, you know, I advocate cold outreach, but you're wasting your time with me. My gatekeepers, you're not even going to get through to the gatekeeper, okay? You're just going to get rejected instantly. It is a waste of time to litter my fucking Gmail with offers. Trust me. And if that sounds harsh, good. It means you haven't earned that credibility yet, or I would know you. Especially here in Australia. You know, like I said, I'm friends with pretty much every big influencer in the e-commerce space. Every big influencer in the social media virality space. Bar a handful. Bar a couple. But I'm working on that. But everyone else knows the dip. Okay? And you would know me if you had the cred. Okay, next. For the stage 3 of the e-commerce scaling videos, Adam is going to be stepping up. If you don't know who Adam is, he's a previous business partner on a handful of stores as well as the big pet bed store. You know, obviously that's where a lot of the e-commerce success comes from. And Adam is currently running 2 7-figure stores that he's built this year. I'm not going to say what they are or what niche they're in, but Adam will essentially be filming the stage 3 Facebook scaling videos inside the Hive mind. So that's super, super exciting because the shit that Adam's going to be showing you is fresh. It's even newer than the strategies that I implement because I'm not aggressively scaling Facebook ads on a single product at the moment. So Adam will definitely be able to provide some insight, and he's an analytical guy. He's very to the point, and those videos are going to be absolutely fucking bomb. I'll still be doing the majority of the stage 3 stuff for the Hive for the e-commerce, but Adam will be dropping it on the Facebook. So the value that you're getting there is someone who's managed 3 or 4 different 7-figure stores in the e-commerce space and is currently managing 2 of them. Solo entrepreneur. So fuck me, the value I'm bringing. Onlyfans 2.0 is only going to be available for Hive members as well. Oh, and if you don't know what the Hive is, which I say in every video, a lot of people ask, is don't listen to the full podcast. The Hive Mind is it's all my works training, all the years on social media, how to build a following. It shows you Instagram mastery, it shows you YouTube growth, it shows you everything to do with e-commerce, Facebook Marketplace automation, OnlyFans. It has the entire OnlyFans course, and then more importantly, it plugs you into a Discord of 400 plus members at the moment doing the exact same thing. And when you watch these videos in the future, there'll be thousands. You know, our community is growing insane. We have people doing $800 days, $1,000 days, 30K months. It's blowing up. We have 7-figure year entrepreneurs in there. And you get direct access to everyone. So if you're not in the Hive, join the fucking Hive. We are growing at an incredible and rapid rate. And yeah, you get access to absolutely everything. I am putting the price up. I say this in every video because I always put the price up. Go back and look when it launched. It's fucking gone up massively, and it's going to go until the point where only the Pope and the Pope's son will be able to afford the Hive Mind. Okay. OnlyFans 2.0 is going to be insane. It's just going to be fucking wild. The amount of value that I'm bringing out in that and the amount of shit that's going in it. It's copy, paste, boom, make more money. That's all it is. Copy, upload the new funnel, follow the things that it says, and you're building a brand that's going to be able to scale indefinitely and be a lot more exitable, a lot more sellable. So, and that's for creators and managers. What else? Affiliate payments. We have Hive members. And if you think like, oh, the Hive, you know, because it has an affiliate section, that's how the money's made. It's not. The affiliate thing is only something brand new, and only a few people have implemented the affiliate section. But we have payments going out. We're already seeing people earn, you know, hundreds of dollars reoccurring a month for referring other Hive members. So we have that in there. And I'll show you how to do that as well. You just copy and paste these videos that I upload on YouTube, or you just you have direct access to the Drive folder once you enter the Hive, and you can just take all the TikTok style videos and use them as real shorts. Boom, all you do is that, and you have your special little affiliate link there, and you can refer everyone. So crazy. Top of that, I think we got, yeah, last update before we get into it is, no, we've got two more updates. This is my last chance on TikTok. I've received so many warnings now. I can continuously buy new TikTok ads accounts, but from my personal TikTok account, I've received that many warnings that it says the next video to go down will get me permabanned. So congratulations to the green-haired community, the short green-haired feminist fat fucks that like to report me. Congratulations. You've brought down the king on one social media platform nearly. I've been stabbed. You know, you see in the movies where they get stabbed and then they pull out their dagger because they're gonna get one more in there. I'm gonna get one more in there. I'm gonna get one more controversial video out there before I get fucking beheaded. So get ready. It's gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. I've been stabbed. You think it's over? I've reached in. I've got the sneaky dagger in hand. It's coming out controversial. So you just wait. It's gonna be my most controversial video to date. And the band is going to be magnificent. So I'll post it here when I'm fully banned from TikTok. It is what it is. Last update. You know, I think a lot of people that have been messaging me say like, bro, like I would love to do the videos. I take your advice. I want to do the YouTube. But where does your confidence come from? And it's a difference. It's not really confidence. You learn camera ability. So the ability to speak better on camera. The ability to conversate better, to converse better, to project better. All these things come later just by repetition and doing them more. But general confidence comes from experience. And, you know, to get experience, you have to be comfortable being inexperienced. So just develop that mindset that you're going to be comfortable being a beginner again. You know, go do jujitsu, get your ass fucking folded 1,000,000 times, become a human piece of laundry, get folded 100 times. Go join Muay Thai and get your ass kicked, get flogged. You know, it's like, it'll humble you, and it also, not just humbles you, but it gives you confidence in yourself. And it's like a lot of people that I meet that's like, where the pen was dropped. I told you, it's iconic. Watch back. Every video, the pen gets dropped when shit gets heated. That must be the best points, I reckon, when the pen gets dropped. That pen drop. we could call that like, I'm going to get a soundboard eventually once we set up the podcast studio correctly, and bam, pen drop is like, pay attention when the pen drops. So I think confidence as a man, I can't speak on behalf of a woman, but the ability to fight, not from the standpoint that like, oh, if we disagree, I'm just going to fucking hit you, but from the ability that like, you've got your ass kicked so many times that you realize the worst case scenario with someone is they beat the shit out of you or stab you or whatever. But essentially, like, pretty much it has to go very, very wrong for someone to beat the shit out of you in a conversation. So once you learn that the worst case scenario is you getting hit, and once you lose the fear of getting hit, like kicked in the head, choked out, choked unconscious, once all these things have happened, as weird as it sounds, you lose the fear of saying what you feel. And this also comes from having your money controlled. Like a lot of the times, this is reinforced, this behavior, because if you don't do as you're told, not only do you have that fear of, it escalating as a male, as a female, not so much, but as a male, you have the fear of it escalating to physical violence, but you also have the fear of losing your job, your primary income, which supports your entire lifestyle. So the confidence comes from, I would say, money. Brings you a shit ton of confidence. You see people that get richer, they become a lot more confident, and there's a reason. When you make your own money and you can understand that you can navigate the world essentially without having to report to anyone or being told how to act, it's not that you're becoming more confident, it's that you're just being your real self. So you see people become these bombastic characters, and you're like, fuck, like, they're so outrageous now to how they were. Deep down, you want to be like that motherfucker, but you're being controlled. You don't have money. And the more money you get, the more fuck you ability you get, until the point where you'll just say anything. Top that in with your ability to fight as a man, and you become inevitable, as Big Fanny would say. Now, also, if you don't think like, I don't really sit around watching movies or shit like that, but I am a fucking, I am a superhero geek. Since, like, I don't read comics or anything like that, but since I was a kid, I've always loved the idea of superheroes. I've always envisioned myself, like, I love that idea of someone being above average, someone being, like, enhanced, and, like, that's why I push myself. Like, I love those movies. I love spy movies. I've always loved spy movies. As a kid, I've always wanted to be like, oh, how can I learn, like, how to read people? How can I learn how to, convince people to do things that I want? How can I speak other languages? How can I know how to navigate and travel the world? How can I make all my own money so it's on my terms? My life is essentially in the inspiration of wanting to become a Jason Bourne sort of character. And in today's world, you have to do that by becoming a internet celebrity. Is probably the best way. A personal brand allows you to do all of those things. But I don't even know where I was going with that point. I like Marvel, I guess I was going to say. I don't like the other one. I don't like Batman and all that shit. And if you disagree, fuck you. I like Iron Man. I like the cockiness. I think my favorite would be Iron Man and Spider-Man. Those are the big G's of the game. So that's what it is. That was some weird points to bring up. But anyway, let's get into the OnlyFans content. We're going to look at a contract. Now, if you want, again, this is not legal advice. None of this is legal advice. These contracts should not be used. You should speak with a lawyer before getting into any of these sorts of businesses. But if you join the Hive Mind, there may be a certain guideline in there that will point you in the right direction of places to start, okay? Where you could start. Maybe it's a reference of what to use as a contract, okay? And then you can pass that on to a lawyer and get everything looked over, okay? So just as the last time, this is not legal nor financial advice. Now, let's look at, if I was to have a contract in place, the sort of things that it would cover. So we're going to talk about the topics that it would cover. So obviously, the very first thing is you want to be set up as a company, okay? Or not you want to be. What I would do is, if I had it, is I would be set up as a company, not a person. Because as a company, you protect yourself to some degree from more liability, okay? And again, this is just my understanding and my dumbass interpretation, because at the end of it, I could be completely wrong. So consult a lawyer. But it'd be better off for me, I would think, if it was a company conducting a contract with a person rather than a person conducting a contract with a person, especially in the OnlyFans industry. The next thing that I would cover in such contract would be something like a duration. The contract would have to have a certain duration that it takes place. that both parties can be happy with, okay? And then they could, refresh it if they wanted to. The next thing it would cover would be the services conducted inside of such contract. It would cover what a company would do for said client and what the client's responsibilities would be. So we'd have responsibilities that the client would look at, and we'd have responsibilities that the company would need to undertake. And we tried to make these very, very defined in terms of what would happen, because when anything is defined on paper and the more detail we put into things, the clearer and the easier it is to stop problems from arising, because everyone has their 100% understanding of what happens. Next, such contract would probably have something like compensation. How would, each party be compensated? Would it be a 50-50 split? Would there be a certain payment? What would be the compensation that takes place between the parties? The next would be some clauses on liability to hopefully remove, as many liabilities from the company that's putting out the contract as possible. From my understanding, you would want to remove yourself from as many liabilities like damages, being hurt, certain things that a lawyer would be great at discussing. Now, the next thing are warranties. I'm not entirely sure what these are. That's why I'll hire a lawyer. The next thing is confidentiality. You would want to have certain clauses of confidentiality, and this would be very, very important in the OnlyFans industry, that you would have a confidentiality agreement that would say what information can be shared between the client, the company, and other parties. So is it all available to be shared? Can they say whatever they want? Is it discreet? Are they allowed to show sales figures and earnings? What can be shown between said parties? Something like that would probably be a good idea. Now, this is a very important one if you were to have a contract in place. You would have to 100% understand the consenting age of the parties. You would, in this industry, I'm not going to say what's illegal and what's not, what's illegal and what's legal. It depends on country laws, state laws, all these things that you would need to look at with your lawyer. Fuck, I've said that a lot of times. But you would definitely want to make sure about consenting age, the age of the individual, that's coming on board with the company. And you would want to verify that age. What I would do is I would verify that age multiple times. If it was on the OnlyFans platform, services were being taken place, I would have the individual verify their account. I would have multiple forms, showing the person's age, from a license to a passport to a fucking Medicare card. You probably don't have that in the US or wherever you are, but certain different things that would show the person's age. So before we get into the last one, because the last one is probably the most important out of all, and there's a few more you should add in, but these are the basics. Let's recap. I would have something like a company and a person on the contract conducting business. I would say like where the company's located, all the details about each party, a duration of a contract, services that were involved, how the parties would be compensated, certain liabilities and what's excluded, warranties, confidentiality, consenting age. And then the last thing I would look at, which is very, very important, I think, if I was to have such a thing in place, would be the governing jurisdiction of where such contract takes place. So if there was some discrepancies, you would hope that as a company, those discrepancies would take place where you choose them to be rather than the other person. Say for example, two people were to work with each other in this industry and they were internationally, one in Australia or one in the US, and there was to be some sort of discrepancy between the two. I would think hypothetically, it would be better for the company to say, look, if any discrepancies arise, it has to take place in the jurisdiction of Australia over here where we are, not where you are in the US. If you want to bring up any discrepancy or any issue with the contract, you must come to Australia to sort that issue. And if the two parties are in the same location, then that's fine, but you would want to declare hypothetically, someone would want to declare where that would be, And obviously you would want to consult with the lawyer, because all of this shit that I've said is probably most likely 100% wrong and none of it's legal advice. But if there was to be such a contract in place, they're the sort of things I would look at putting on a contract. And they would be guidelines that I would pass on to a legal team and say, these are certain parameters that I would want to encompass in such a contract between potentially an OnlyFans agency and people. So that's pretty much it for today's potty. Okay, we're going to wrap it up. But if you're not inside the Hive mind, there are a lot more resources inside the Hive. There are a lot of cool things in there. There are a lot of great people in there. It's a great community. You know, I don't need to sell it. The amount of money that's being made inside the Hive is it's incredible, for lack of a better word. It's incredible. The community in there is amazing. We're growing at a rapid rate every single day. New members coming on board. People having same-day successes. You need to join the fucking Hive. The link's down below, okay? And there's also a link to Kajabi if you want to have a play around, to start to play around with funnels before OnlyFans 2.0 comes out, which is still a while away yet. And yeah, that's it. Hit subscribe as well, you little motherfuckers. I'm about to film another video. We're going to look at the murder case that's going on in the news. So thank you for joining me and Ariani in today's video, and we'll see you all for tomorrow's podcast. Baka. All the money in the world is mine.